Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Chronicles of my Narcissistic Ex. So, I'm finally divorced from him, so that's great. It was such a relief, and I couldn't have been happier about it finally happening. And I think that what finally led him to cooperate is because of him talking about wanting to sign his rights away to our daughter. And he wants to sign his rights away because I think it, like, he weighed his options, you know? And, like, he wants to keep control by us still being married and legally her still being his daughter. But at what cost? Well, it costs him child support. And what's the most important thing to narcissists? Money. So, because he has to pay child support, and it's a pretty decent sum now, because we agreed on an amount. It's not a lot, but it's significant enough for him. So, it's finally over. We're divorced. Oops, I keep hitting the camera stand. And not only that, the best thing ever is my fiance is no longer my fiance. We finally got married. We actually got married on Star Wars Day. He let me choose the day. And the other thing is he's actually gone now. And he's been gone for a while. He started basic training in the military, so that's where he is now. He called last night, and it felt so good to hear his voice because I haven't heard it in almost a month and a half. So, and then I go in a couple weeks to his graduation for his basic training graduation, and then he goes to AIT, which is called, I think it's called Advanced Individual Training, where he learns about his job. If any of you guys know about like military codes and stuff like that, his job is 92A. I think it has something to do with supply, but he's gonna try to get his vision checked because he has a slight color deficiency, which led him from being an aviation mechanic. So once he gets a specific diagnosis for his eye color deficiency, because it doesn't seem to be bad, then he should, like he can switch to aviation mechanic. So let's hope and pray that he'll be able to switch so he can get away from whatever 92A is. He doesn't really care for it, but you know, he's doing what he has to do. Like, he wrote, I think I got a letter a few days ago that he said his shins were hurting. He said something about shin splints, and then I'm reading up, like, I'm part of a group with all the mothers, the wives, girlfriends, family, whatever, and a lot of them are talking about how their SITs, which are called soldiers in training, their SITs are getting profiled and having to leave for medical reasons, and most of them are because of stress fractures. Like, people are getting them in their pelvis, their shins, their feet. It's crazy. So, in any case, things with my ex, we don't really speak anymore. The divorce is over. There's not really anything to talk about. The only time I've really texted him was when my husband was at reception. They wanted something. Shoot, I'm brain farting right now. Oh, they wanted custody papers in order to add my daughter to his dears. I don't know, to add my daughter for the benefits, like medical and whatnot. And they wouldn't accept that. Or they wouldn't accept our divorce decree, which our divorce decree has nothing in it about a child because we had a child before we were married. So therefore they don't count as like a legitimate child or something in our state. So there was nothing in the divorce decree about that. So, and we don't have any custody paperwork. My ex just stopped coming around. So that's how that goes. I had to talk to him and ask him about if she was still on his military benefit stuff, because actually when I logged into mine, there were 2 sites that I can log on to see everything, and one of them had me and my daughter listed as my ex's dependents, and then the other one just had me listed as my husband's dependent. So that's how that's going. We still have to try to get it fixed later. It's not a big deal. We can just go to any base. We don't have to get custody paperwork because I called around and made sure. But now I just need a power of attorney, or I need my husband around in order to get that fixed so my daughter can get their insurance. And let's see, my ex, there have been a couple times where we discussed him signing his rights away. He's been eager, so he's been asking more. And he didn't get her anything for Christmas, but he got her stuff for her birthday. I had asked him to get her like a new laptop, but the money that he spent on her, he could have gotten her a cheap laptop. Instead, he got her 2 gift cards and then a video game that she didn't want. So, like, he doesn't take my advice when I tell him, hey, she's not gonna want this. He gets it anyway. That's why she has some stuff that she hasn't touched that he sent, because I've told him, no, she's not gonna want that. And he thinks, oh yeah, she will. Like, he used to be really good at picking out gifts for her when she was really little, but he doesn't know her. He hasn't seen her in years. And he seems to think that just because he likes this stuff, she's gonna like this stuff. And it's just, she's changing. She's developing into her own person. She's not just like him, and she's not just like me. She's her. So, let's see what else. Recently, I asked him if maybe he can give a little bit more this month or next month to go towards like school supply and new clothes, because earlier this year, I got a whole boatload of size 12 clothes because she was wearing size 10. So I was like, yeah, let me get a whole bunch of size 12 so that way I'll be ready for this year. Guess who's busting out of the 12s already? So she needs size 14s. So when you think that you could sit there and prepare by buying bigger kids for your clothes, you're wrong, because they're gonna grow out of them within a couple of months. Big time. So like, it used to be easy. Like every 6 months, gotta buy her a bigger size in that season of clothes. So she just kind of skipped size 12. Lord. But anyway, I guess I'll use this also to talk more about what's been going on with me. Like I said in my video about the scapegoat is always the liar, it's talking about narcissism kind of brings me down. And in order to heal, I need to walk away from talking about it all the time, because it brings back bad memories and things. So And you can't really heal when you're constantly triggering yourself by talking about it. And then, see what else I've been doing. I started working full time. I got a job and I was, working full time for quite a while until my husband left. And then I switched to part time. And I got to make another video about it, but I was dealing with a narcissist at work, but there were two narcissists at my job. One was tolerable, one was so intolerable that we literally could not work together. And so then I put in my 2 weeks notice a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. And it just so happened in about a week after I put in my notice, my old boss actually, from when I worked at the Halloween store before, she contacted me saying, hey, you want to come back for this Halloween season? Heck yeah, all for it. So now I'm back working there. So it just I was just gonna not work until my husband finishes AIT and we find out if we're moving or if we're staying here, what we're doing. And then the plan is that either when we stay here or if we have to move, I'm either gonna not work or I'm only gonna work part-time while I go to school. So that way I can work on getting a better job, because thank God my daughter is older now, so I don't have to worry about a whole lot of stuff. Like constantly finding sitters, or, him and I having to work opposite shifts, because now she can stay home alone for a couple of hours, long enough for me to go get a couple hours of work in. So, just working part-time right now works out, because getting a little bit of money to help, which usually just go towards feeding her, because she's at that stage now where she's just inhaling everything, as kids do. Which doesn't help me, because I see her eating and then it makes me want to eat a lot. And since 2 years ago, I've lost almost 50 pounds. I don't know if you can tell in my videos, but my face or whatever. And recently gained a little bit of it back because stress eating, which is not an excuse, but it's what happened. So anyway, my life is just getting a lot better. My life is a lot more stress-free, even though I kind of have to deal with my husband's mother. Her and I, we were at a point where we weren't talking at all for a while, and now we're kind of talking. And she's not really being bad, but when she does get, I don't know, all narcissistic, I guess, even if that's a word, but when she gets like that, I just ignore her. I just don't answer her texts, and I'm like, oh yeah, sorry, I was sleeping, or I took a nap. Instead of just saying, yeah, I'm not going to deal with your bull, because sometimes it's easier and it's less stress on yourself to just say, hey, sorry, didn't mean to ignore you. I was doing something else. But yeah, other than that, I've been really happy, and things have been falling into place. Once we get to wherever we're moving, if we move, we're gonna do whatever we have to do to get my ex to sign his rights away, and then have my husband adopt her. We don't care about child support. And the funny thing is my mother-in-law keeps saying, oh, but what about the money? Don't you want him paying for his daughter? He made her too, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, why is it always about the money? Why can't it be about her happiness? If she is legally tied to my ex, at some point, for any reason, he can change his mind and decide to assert his rights. And it can really mess her up. What if she's 14 years old and he decides he wants to try to get visitation and takes me to court? Doesn't matter what type of evidence I have and how long it's been. I've seen things and heard things about a dad being gone for years or even never meeting his child and then all of a sudden getting visitation. And what is going to happen is it's going to start off slow. He'll get to visit her probably with supervision and then, get more and more so that she can get used to him. But with the way he is, if he doesn't go get anger management problem or help for his anger management problems, she's going to end up pulling out her hair again. It's going to cause a lot of stress. I mean, whenever he was bouncing in and out of her life, whenever he felt like it, she wasn't doing good in school. But now that she is in a stable home, everything is stable. We're good. We're not worrying about him. He's not around. He's not disrupting our life, coming in and causing chaos. She's been getting on the A and B honor roll. I'm super proud of her. She's worked so hard for this. And she's mentally in a much better place than when he was in her life. So why would I want to jeopardize her well-being over a measly few $100s a month? It's not worth it. So I would rather struggle financially than have my daughter get messed up mentally again and constantly have to go into therapy. Like, I still plan on putting her in therapy, once we can get her medical stuff situated. I also didn't mention she had actually broke her arm a few months ago. I was babysitting a couple of dogs. One of the dogs ran right in front of her while she was walking and tripped over her, and she fell onto my ceramic tile flooring, and she broke her wrist in 2 spots right in here, because our wrist kind of has 2 bones like this, and they both broke. So she had to have non-incision surgery, I think that's what they called it. They didn't have to cut her open, but she still had to be put to sleep and have surgery or whatever. So now that's finally healing. But because my ex is still legally tied to her, I still do what I have to do. Like, I let him know, hey, she broke her arm. I've sent him picture updates just so that he can't say, she never kept me updated. She never told me anything. She pushed me out of her life, yada, yada, yada. So I'm doing what I feel I have to do to make sure my daughter is better. And this to me is like, in the future, it's going to set up to be proof. Like, hey, I did send him texts. I let him know that she broke her arm. I let him know at every doctor update with pictures of her her x-rays and stuff like that. So anyway, yeah, that's everything that's been going on with me. I'm just excited. I get to go see my husband the next couple of weeks, and pray for me because it's going to be like a 15 to 17 hour car ride with my mother-in-law and my daughter. So yeah, that's going to be crazy. I just hope that nothing bad happens with her. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully I'll make another video soon. Bye, and take care.